Hello everyone, welcome to yet another live stream. Hold on, I need a second because my tea is in the way. Hi there everyone, how are you all doing? Hi there Maximilian Sale, hi there Inadequate Duck, hi there Sadi, hi there Camkit, hi there Kukureka, welcome! Welcome to yet another live stream, and today we will be working on a video. Let me just have a sip of tea. Don't you drink coffee? Why tea? Because today I felt like tea. I don't have quite the need for this large of an amount of caffeine today, since the video was yesterday, which means, or 2 days ago. Yeah, it was 2 days ago at this point, which means that we still have 5 full days before this video needs to be finished. So we've got time. Okay. Anyhow, under the YouTuber, thank you. Anyhow, today we're going to be working a bit on a script, a bit on a rendering, and a bit on a whatnot, and so on and so forth. So, let's go into display capture, and yes, we'll have to script the video. Fun fact, diamonds can probably be synthesized from air. How do you mean? Diamonds can probably be synthesized from air. Also, it's odd to say fun fact and then follow that up with probably. Music, right, I forgot. There we go. How's your back or whatever hurt a week or so ago? Everything hurts me still. Everything hurts. It's just a thing you get when you get old. Now let me move my microphone too. Okay, there we go. There we go. So now, what does the day counter mean? Well, it counts how many days we've been streaming for in a row. So far, I've been streaming for 671 days in a row. That's what the day counter is there for. How old do you make it? Good question. Fun probability. Diamonds could be synthesized from air. There we go. You mean because of the carbon dioxide? I mean, yeah, I suppose. No, stretched spring increases its potential energy. That's why when you go, it will create a lot of movement. This potential gets released in the form of kinetic energy movement. Interesting thing to mention is that if you squish the spring, you achieve the same result. Make it is not old, he's still young. Am I? I'm old hard. He looked young in the videos, but he said he used to be young and stupid. I did used to be young and stupid. Now I'm only stupid. Air, carbon dioxide, and diamonds are compressed carbon, no? So air has carbon dioxide and diamonds are compressed carbon. So air, diamonds, fun fact, and probably the joke. I mean, that is technically true, but a lot of things have carbon. All of organic chemistry has carbon. So you're not wrong there, but with that line of logic, you could make practically anything out of practically anything. Which, I mean, it's not wrong if you've ever seen Nilred videos. I'm an aspiring scientist and overall lover all things science, and your videos have been very entertaining and helpful in my researches. The visual being highlight. Thank you, make it. You're welcome. I'm glad I can make them. I really am. Hi, make it. How are you? I'm fine, actually. I suppose I'm fine. Indestructible. 671 days in a row. I can't even sleep every night for that long. Yeah, we have been going for 671. It's been fun. We need to somehow remove the oxygen from carbon dioxide, and then you would be able to make diamonds. That is the pickle there. You see, the reason why so many things burning release carbon dioxide is because carbon dioxide is a very low energy molecule. Basically, you gain energy because you oxidize carbon. So you would need quite a lot of energy to get that carbon back. You would need to unburn it. That would be just unburning it. Production. I got 7 out of 10 that chemistry test I told you about. That's great! That is great. One course of action. Use it and another. No, I got my example chemistry back, and I get 47 out of 50. Oh, again, amazing. That is great. I had reason with this and tried to prepare a project about Fourier transform for school. I respect that. I love Fourier transforms. Hi there, boo! I've just had the most splendid idea. Go on. I should do a video of them turning dog and diamonds. Video was awesome and funny. Thank you, Sally. Not more chemistry. Yes, we're making a chemistry video. Didn't the new video do kind of good? If you can't hear me, why are you asking me, Caleb? Because now I'm either have to respond with that. For transformation are cool and useful. They really are. They are amazing. Some of golden spot. The spot with the you need to add energy to the system in order to change it. You make my theory better. I'm glad to help. My sister's in AP Chem. I don't know what AP Chem means. What is Fourier transformation? Long story. Watch the How Math Becomes Difficult video. It's that one. What would you say is your favorite subject to study? I don't have one. I can't pick. I mean, they're all very similar. There is an argument to be made that everything is just physics. And so I really can't pick one. I love them all equally. Can you put some non-copyright lo-fi music? But I already have this one playing. I need the music to wake me up. Is that... Hold on. Oh my goodness, I have you so quiet, Boo. Is that Blue Lightning? No way. You just... I'm about to get a copyright strike, Boo. Boo, I'm gonna get a copyright strike. No. You really just join in to rickroll me. Cool, that's great. You really just fun. I turned off the music and everything just for a rickroll. Now I'm putting the music back. Music is a banger though. Yeah, it's fun. I saw from a video why carbon is used. I am going to explain in this video why carbon is used, actually. Funny enough. The whole point of the organic chemistry video. There's mostly three reasons. Well, I always thought there was just that it can hybridize really well and it's just convenient to bond with in chains. Buri just joined in, rickrolled me, and left. Cool. Fun. You really just rickrolled me. That's. I am glad you have access to the streaming channel. Everything is just physics because biology is just complex chemistry. Chemistry is basically study electrons. Yeah, it's all just different abstractions of the same thing. We increase the volume in the music now. Hi, the Bednak. Make it. How long is your half-life? Exactly 1 Gordon Freeman of size. Bamboo. Reach dense as Oregon gets. Listen, after this chemistry video, the next one will be maths, and then it's gonna be a physics one, okay? I have 2 different physics videos I want to make. I don't know which one to make first. Kind of a pickle. Stronger than any other bond in block 14, it can form 4 bonds, 3 I forgot. It's just kind of filled with super dense vacuum. Is that from the Kurzgesagt video? Physics, what can I say? You have a lot of vacuum. Make it History Channel when? Oh, you mean when it will like collaborate with Mini Minutemen? We'll see. You know, to change it. Chemistry. Example, bond length for different. The atoms are really close, but stable. If they be far, really unstable, but if they come close together just right. And there we go. There's the physics video on the lowest side of the spectrum. I mean, I don't think anything I'm gonna. Well, one of them is even higher in terms of silliness. The other one is a bit lower, but I really want to make the other one. Super dense vacuum. Yeah, it's the physics. This is the physics thing. Still not researching the graviton, but yeah, no gravitons allowed. One of the physics, yeah. So when it comes to the 2 physics videos, I want to pick between. First one will be about the silly one. Would be about the history of quarks and how, basically, how things meld the blur the line between the concept and the thing. So you know how elementary particles aren't quite particles, and what photons even are. How we don't know if quarks exist exactly. We just think that we know, but at the same time we don't know if anything exists exactly. We just think that we does. About all these different things. And the other video would be about how physics can change. Basically, you know, high velocity relativity or high energy standard model with electro weak force and whatnot, and so on and so forth. In compromise though, together, hey, the gravitino together. And what is, I'm sorry, what is that's not the real, you just made it up. Gravitino. No, that's not. Gravity in supergravity theories combine general relativity and supersymmetry. Gravitino is a gauge Fermion supersymmetric partner of half-sized graviton. That's not a real thing. Hold on. Remco, what do you mean? Isn't graviton already ruled out in the standard model? It is! It is actually, yeah! Isn't particles the way of life? Just because the standard model is wrong? Well, I mean, it's the best one we got. I don't think we have a better one. But it's standard. This is a new thing. It's not a new thing. It's based on the graviton. It's dumb and I hate it. It sucks. Just do relativity, kids. Don't do gravitons. You can have some certain molecules. I think it's about time for us to have the talk about gravitons and neutrinos. Now we should try general relativity. No. A responsible adult says no to general relativity in curvature of space-time. I would never do general relativity. That's an addiction. I do not have enough psychedelic substances to get through general relativity. Neutrinos are the only inos that exist. To me, it seems so wild that when it comes to decay, we know decay was losing energy, and I don't even remember what the name of that guy was. Was it Pauly? It might have been Pauly. Where basically he just said, hey, what if there is a particle we cannot detect? Basically an invisible particle. Actually, quite literally an invisible particle. It doesn't have charge. Invisible particle that just carries that energy away. Fermi. Was it Fermi? I don't remember who invented neutrino. It might have been Fermi, yeah. I don't remember.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
Hey, in all seriousness, hello.
Yep.
Do you think Einstein or Newton was more intelligent?
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of measuring this way, but I can tell you that Newton was insane and Einstein was really high. That's my opinion. I feel like Einstein did more rigorous mathematics, more advanced rigorous mathematics. Probably a better mathematician. But Newton was more insane, certainly. He had no sanity in him. To see an apple fall and think that it's because things just attract each other when they have mass is something only a crazy person would do. Pauli exclusion principle. That's a great one. Oh, the fact that I haven't mentioned it in a while, that's at all. Maybe in some universe silicon gets the same treatment as carbon. Silicon gets a better treatment than carbon. It can be doped really easily. Carbon can't. Silicon gets the lattice structure. I guess carbon too. Do you think it will ever be possible to cause quantum entanglement between microscopic objects, and what would it even mean in your opinion? I don't think so, because I'm pretty certain... isn't that what Bell theorem's about? Or am I wrong? I think Bell theorem says that that's not how you could do it. Encompassing number of closely related results in physics determining quantum mechanics is incompatible with local hidden variable theories, given some basic assumptions about nature measurement. I probably messed up. I think that's the wrong one. Dark matter is really just a big neutrino. All of it is a big neutrino. Those stars of the universe are super dense mass. Well, I don't remember the start of the universe all that well. I was pretty drunk back then, to be honest. Newton did way more mathematics than Einstein in real math, like proving theorems. You do know Newton invented calculus. Yeah, I mean, but Einstein did more advanced mathematics. Newton did a lot of mathematics, but Einstein mathematics are way more complicated. E squared equals mc squared squared plus hp squared. I do believe that was the equation. That's the equation which I still don't know where it comes from. I just don't know. So it's really quite advanced. Mickey, do you think it makes sense to talk about before the Big Bang, or should we just avoid that conversation altogether? We shouldn't avoid that conversation, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to talk about this sort of thing because, well, we don't really know, do we? It's kind of like talking about the things outside the visible universe.
Do you think that the visible universe is the actual limit of the universe, or that it's much larger?
Oh, it's certainly much larger. But we have no reason to believe that that's the actual limit. That's basically visible universe just means universe as far as we can see. But just because you can see a horizon on Earth doesn't mean you think that Earth ends there. Obviously, you expect the Earth to continue. So we still expect universe to continue. The only problem is we have no idea about the rest of the universe. Like, we assume that our laws just carry over. That's a pretty simple assumption, but is the universe infinite? It's kind of a mad question to ask, because on one hand, if it's infinite, that's insane. It's because of, well, it's infinite. On the other hand, if it's a finite universe, that's even more insane. Having a limit.
Infinite, does that disprove the Big Bang Theory?
Oh no, I don't think so. I'm pretty certain when it comes to the Big Bang, I think that's when everything. Well, that's the pickle, because space expands everywhere, which means that you can have an infinite small universe. as little sense as it makes, it is a thing. It's mathematics at this point. I don't even know if it's mathematics or physics, so it makes no sense, but at the same time, it makes sense. Your universe can expand everywhere at the same time, so you can have an infinite universe that's still expanding. Even though it's infinite, it can still expand, simply because it's infinite, precisely. Which means that it's expanding at... Am I making any sense or not? Because I don't know how to put it otherwise. It mathematically works, but it's not something it's easy to imagine. Just infinite expanding universe. How confusing could that be, am I right? You have something that's infinitely big and then it gets bigger. Simple stuff. I am curious though, because there are a lot of things which we right now think of as actual physical constraints, but it would be really fun if we could break them. Moving information faster than light sort of thing. Because then we could just... Big bounce model for the win. Big bounce is terrifying. Wait, is it big bounce or is it big crunch? I don't... Or are those two different? Oh, one thing, though, actually, because you asked about the visible universe, but what's more crazy to me is the beginning of the universe. Because when it comes to... Our universe exists. Like, we can accept that as a fact. I feel like last time I checked, I'm pretty certain our universe was still there. I don't know, maybe it changed since last time I checked. But our universe exists. So there are two possibilities. Either universe always existed, in which case, why did the universe always exist? Or the universe was created at some point. Which just begs the question, what created the universe and what created the thing that created the universe? And what's truly mind-numbing to me is that that's not like a theoretical question. That's a practical question. We know the universe exists, which means it must have either always existed, which is kind of odd to say the least, or something created the universe, which is even... It's madness. That's a real question. Answer the print will become small. Wave function overlap? Yes.
I mean, no matter which definition you have for how the universe was created, it's like, well, what would happen if there was no universe? You know
Yeah,
what I
like
mean?
we have
Like before there was universe, what would even be there?
exactly
What is nothing?
before everything. What created everything if everything didn't exist? If you have nothing, and I mean truly nothing, not nothing as in non-object, I mean nothing as in no object, no space, no time, no vacuum, nothing. How can that create something? And if it can create something, why is this
How could
something?
something create that?
Yeah, and then how could something create that exactly? Why do we? And that's what gets me, the fact that it's a real question. It's not just people getting high and asking meaningless. That's a real question. It has to have an answer because the universe clearly exists. What is the answer? It makes no sense to talk about before anything.
Even philosophers have come across the question. It must be pretty obvious.
The question, if you do experiment to find out. I mean, what experiment would you even do? Conservation of mass slash energy. Funny enough, mass isn't well. I guess time. I guess frame of reference. Yeah. Never mind. It's not scientist to ask it for philosophy to ask. No, I mean, I've said you would like scientific answer though. I'm curious because there has to be one. That's the mind numbing thing. There is an answer to that question clearly because we exist. This is not a science question. Science can't solve every question. If you think that science can't solve every question, you're on the wrong science, or you're on the wrong channel on YouTube. Because I believe that science can answer every question.
God created the universe. If there is a God, then something must have had to create that God,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's an infinite line. It's if something created the universe, what created something? And then if something created something, what created the something that created something? It just keeps going. I do agree that because Perif said that I find it easier to grasp an eternal universe. I do agree. Universe that always existed makes more sense, simply because then nothing had to create it. A universe always existed. But if universe always existed, then why did the universe always exist the way it exists now? Why aren't the laws of physics different? Why isn't the speed of light higher or lower, or the gravitational constant higher or lower? Make it. Have you not learned of Gödel's theorem? There will be unanswerable questions. Isn't Gödel's theorem about mathematics, though? Mathematical logic that are concerned with the limits of probability in formal. Yeah, it's axiomatic. Oh my goodness! Just use smaller words. I'm a YouTuber. I can't understand these axiomatic systems. Science can't.
Personal pet theory is that we just happen to be in an expanding part of the universe and that there are lots of different expanding and contracting parts
Yeah,
across an infinite universe.
that's the really annoying thing. That's right now, according to our current theory, we have a limit on. Well, I'm getting an alarm to remind me to stream today. That because we're in the visible universe to us, we have a limited amount of data about the nature of the universe, which means that it's actually hard to tell. There's an actual limit on how much we can know about the universe, unless we do some, unless we, I don't know, reinvent physics as a whole. All questions can be responded modern physics. I mean, okay, science can't prove all questions. What's more, science can't prove any questions with 100% certainty. I agree with you there, but science can answer every question. You can't prove anything using science simply because you need some underlying assumptions and you will never be certain of your underlying assumptions. You can never be absolutely certain about them. However, science can answer every question.
Like one thing that was like so obviously true and that could be proved, that we could base all of science on.
I really like the
But I
Kukuretka.
mean,
I really like the Kukuretka
even if
comments.
you just say that
The
I
hobby,
see stuff, so it must exist,
you
then
don't,
you get the people talking about simulation theory.
or even more, you don't know if you can even see. The thing is, we're thinking that we exist, but we can't really even trust ourselves that we're thinking. We could just be, I don't know, random space clouds just thinking they're a conscious human. We could think that we have memories when in reality we could just be pre-boot and so on and so forth. I do like Kuritka's take though. Now I'm curious if there is a possibility that the universe is different at different places or times in the universe, but indifferent enough we wouldn't notice. That is actually not impossible. The universe already... Well, the thing is, physics already kind of changes. Kind of. It doesn't... Okay, depends how you define physics changing. But I mean, the time dilation, length contraction already shows that it's changing depending on the scenario. Or maybe it's just our approximation failing. Could be also it. Topological principle is an observation selection effect. It's the hypothesis that the range of possible observations that could be made by the universe is limited by the fact that observations are only possible in the type of universe that is capable of developing intelligent life. Huh. I suppose that's fair. I suppose that's a fair point. But then, wouldn't this require there to be like an infinite amount of universes? And then only the ones that can support intelligent life actually have these laws of physics. There is a domain of science in the physical world, so applying science to this good exists falls outside its domain. Science isn't about the physical world. I mean, depends how you define physical. That's the problem there. Miscellaneous physical is a very vague way to define it, because if you mean physical as in material, then you're wrong. Physics talks about things that aren't material all the time. If you mean physical as in with laws of physics, then you are correct, but we've never seen anything that doesn't follow the laws of physics. Because if there was something that doesn't follow the laws of physics, then we're just going to change the laws of physics to include that thing. Like, you could argue that dark energy, I know, doesn't follow the laws of physics, but what it means in reality, rather, is that it does follow the laws of physics. We're just wrong about the laws of physics. It's not possible there are things we just can't comprehend, like a person can't visualize a fourth dimension. There might be things science can't put in a comprehensible model. There are things we can't comprehend, that is true, because our brains are finite. However, science isn't a physical thing. Science is a method, rather. Science is a method of getting answers. So it's not constrained to just being a physical thing. You have to exist in order to be able to think. You have to be something, even if what you think you are is incorrect. Oh boy, that's philosophy. Science isn't about the physical world. I mean, that's what I said. Depends how you define physical.
I think, therefore, I am hungry.
I think. I don't think, therefore I not am. Can't define main.
How about just, I don't think I am?
I don't think, therefore I don't am. And then I'm just gone. I don't exist. I am not high enough for this conversation, by the way. I'm really not. This is... Black holes kinda break our current laws of physics. Do they? I mean, they bend them, certainly. They bend it to the limit. That's kind of where black holes come from. It's it's something that I don't think black holes break our laws of physics. They just are the limit of our laws of physics. Just how light is traveling at the speed of light. If light was traveling any quicker, it would break our laws of physics. If black holes were any more insane, they would also break them, but I don't think they break them. Question must be well versed for them to be answerable. That is true. The questions must make sense, because if you ask why is my sandwich, how much of an airplane is my sandwich, then you're not gonna find an answer. Vague question. I think therefore I'm French. René Descartes. Oh, making fun of the French. Oh, now I'm feeling good.
Making humorous jokes about the French is kind of revolutionary.
The French don't think. Therefore, they're not No, for real, at some point the French were trying to like reinvent the time system where a minute had 100 seconds or something, which is such a French thing. Of course French did that. Who else?
It should be 10 months in a year.
Yeah. Should be... I mean, okay, it is kind of odd that we have just every other one is like, you know, a millimeter, a megameter, and with time we just use seconds and hours. But the same, can you imagine communicating
It'd be nice if there were
this
100
way?
minutes in an hour.
Yeah, but can you imagine communicating this way? Like, I'll meet you in a megasecond. The mathematics of it, that would, yeah, we would just be too dependent on math. Big Carbon, they're obviously a chemistry. They're like a secret organization pulling the strings around the world, but they are obviously most fascinated about chemistry. They won't let us do that because, you know, that would put too much power in the hands of big mathematics, which is a secret shadowy group that's responsible for all mathematics. Mathematics doesn't actually exist, it's just propaganda to sell numbers. Actually, for the concept of selling, because if you can't sell at a price, then, you know, you need to use numbers for that.
That's
I feel like the whole this breaks science argument is really inconsiderate, since think back 1500 years ago, most of everything is this breaks science. You don't even have to go 1500 years ago, you can go like a century. Light always traveling at the speed of light broke science. Light being both a wave and a particle broke science. There are a lot of things that broke science. The French don't exist. It's... Go on, Boo. I'm so sorry for interrupting. No, you just started talking.
Oh, I completely forgot what I was going to say. I was just chuckling at all the comments you were reading. I do have a better attention span than a goldfish, though.
No, I have a brain the size of a goldfish. I don't remember. Who are you? What are you doing here? I don't remember stuff.
I'm your psychiatrist.
Make it. You're not a YouTuber. You're not streaming right now. You take your meds. We're in a psychiatric facility. You're being admitted. You have schizophrenia.
I'm just playing along with your story, bro.
Yeah. Make it. You're not a streamer. Stop saying chat. Tomorrow I'll break science. Oh no, don't look for the graviton! No! No, don't prove me wrong! Oh, all my jokes, I mean, they weren't really joke, that was just me making fun of it. Oh, my making fun of the graviton can't go to waste. I'll find the gravitino. You're going one step further, aren't you? We really need to find some sort of paper that Remco, Flame, and Redblacks can collab on. Just come together. And then I'll make a video about it, and that would be so cool. Because then Then the views, the money, the ad revenue. That's what I do it, actually. That is why I do it all. Hold on, more tea. That's why I drink coffee normally. I can't get myself to script the video. I just keep drinking tea instead of coffee. It actually tastes nice. It's awful. I'm used to drinking dirt water.
Do you drink your coffee plain or with milk and sugar?
With no sugar, but with milk. I actually, it's not for the, well, it's kind of for the taste, but the main reason why I add so much milk is simply because really often I don't eat breakfast. I just like to get straight to work, and so I just make myself some coffee to wake myself up and add a lot of milk for the nutrients. I am a competitive coffee drinker. I am min-maxing my day using coffee. The other video in question, 14 euros.
Cons in it?
Funny you should say that, guy, because the most recent video earned less than 14 euros. I'm fine. Boo gave me more money this month.
Coffee has gravitons in it.
No, it doesn't. It's a liberal conspiracy. Don't trust the graviton. Big graviton. They just want to sell you mass. Building a
Say no mas.
Actually, Remco, I have a question for you. If you have a particle, because what's your take? That's actually just. Actually, Boo, also you. I have a question for both of you. Remco, because I want to roast him. I'm just gonna be honest. I want to roast you, Remco. And Boo, I'm curious your opinion. If you have a particle that interacts with nothing, absolutely physically nothing, is it real? Because it will be in our universe, but it will have no effect on anything. So is it a real particle?
That's like asking if you can't see something, does it exist? Or if a tree falls in the forest, does it make a sound?
Yeah,
you know?
kind of, except to the extreme. As in, this universe would be no different if that particle is in it or not in it. There would be absolutely no physical difference. And I mean, perfectly no difference. Then is that particle real? Because in my opinion, no. If you have a particle, because in my opinion, no, simply because, well, it affects nothing. As I mentioned, the universe is no different if it's in it.
Definition of real. Like if you have the definition of real that something has to exist to be real, then yes, it's real. But if something has to be known by you to be real, then no, it's not.
I suppose that's fair, but at the same time, you then need to define existence, because you said something needs to exist to be real, but exist is just a synonym in this case. If you define existence as affecting the world, then it doesn't exist. If you define existence as, well, that's the pickle. How would you define existence to include the particle? I haven't seen a single definition of existence
that has a location and a size. That's
okay.
Something has a location and a size.
I suppose that's
pretty much my definition.
Okay, but then what if I invent an imaginary particle and I just give it a location? Even though it's not there, it has a location. Like, technically there's nothing physical in that location, but I did imagine a particle there. It is real, but we would never know. The graviton reacts with space-time, though. Well, that's the pickle, though, isn't it, Remco? Because it reacts with space-time, but I mean... it's not really reactive, is it?
Imagine a particle that doesn't exist. It's interacting with you because you're imagining it.
I wouldn't call that interaction. That's more schizophrenia. More schizophrenic, less interaction, I would say. Humans will never be able to detect
I don't have schizophrenia, I just see things that aren't there.
Exactly. Like, yeah, if you see something that isn't there, that's not... Well, that's the thing, though. An imaginary particle that you just imagine somewhere would have more of an impact on the universe than that particle. Because the particle can't interact with nothing, and the particle you're imagining at least is interacting with your brain. Therefore, schizophrenic people who have the power, basically, they're like Avatar, basically. Make it.
Is believing that the thing that you think is real is actually real. But I think just hallucinating something or imagining something to exist that isn't actually schizophrenia.
Well, I mean, if you're hallucinating, that could be.
But if you know that what you're seeing is not real, because I think schizophrenia is people who
You wouldn't believe it, but I
have
asked.
a literal disease that makes them think things are real.
You wouldn't believe me, but I asked the exact question to a med student like 3 hours ago. If you have schizophrenia, but you know that the things you're seeing are not real, then do you actually have schizophrenia? Make it. Do you keep yourself afloat? Actually, like, do you work a job, or are you right now just doing full-time YouTube? I am a full-time YouTuber now. Bad idea. It's a really bad idea, but I am trying it. We'll see how I go. Interacts with a particle, which interacts with wonderful.
If you're going to attempt to let's say hypothetically, someone were going to try and manufacture a CPU, even a primitive one, from scratch, do you think it would be possible to do in one lifetime?
Depends how
like
much from
assuming they're
scratch.
working on their own?
Depends how much from scratch, because the thing is, if you have access to our current technology, then yes, you can. You can make a CPU from scratch if you want. You wouldn't even take you a lifetime. I feel like you could do it in 5 years, maybe 10, depending on how advanced it is. If you mean from scratch, as in you also need to create all the tools to make a CPU, then I don't think it's doable. Well, then depends how long your lifetime is, but I don't think it's doable. That's kind of the biggest problem. I'm not trying to take away anything from the engineers working on CPUs, because it's absolute witchcraft what CPUs can do, and I will have no idea how they do it. Honestly, my guess is they just bind demons to them. They like take ancient rocks, inscribe runes on them, bind demons. That's me. I'm only a scientist. But the main reason for why CPUs are accelerating at such a constant rate is simply because you need really advanced machinery to even design and build a CPU.
A gatekeep community.
I imagine you with sufficient YouTube income. If enough people believe it, it's gonna be true. It's not autism, it's called super cool Batman syndrome. Make it, if you need help, discover the graviton. I already put Remco on that. Remco is already in the discovering the graviton department of Make It Incorporated.
Really pulled toward gravitons.
Yeah, it's really attracted to them. That's the dumbest thing. You also need to farm your own food. Script writing is going great, it seems, because you keep talking about the graviton, Remco. I blame you, Remco. That's on you. The fact that's why I'm not scripting. It's because you keep bringing up the graviton, and I get all angry because graviton is so dumb. And yeah, take that. Script writing graviton. I might one day make a video about like all the theoretical things, and I will include graviton in there. And it's gonna be a fun time researching graviton, because they make so little sense. They make so little sense. We are not orcs. We know it isn't real. I just need to paint myself blue and yellow. That's a 140k reference. They don't. They make sense. No, they don't. That's the problem, though. They really don't make sense. It's basically.
Can we just say something?
Gravitons feel like creating creating the theory of everything except one particle at a time, and I don't like it. Why photons, WZ bosons, and gluons, but no gravitons? Because gravity is too weak. This the same reason why engineers who build boats use classical mechanics and not quantum mechanics. The same exact reason. You don't consider the wave function of a ship when building it because it's too big. CPU from
Do we really need gravity to be a particle? Couldn't we just leave it at a wave?
Well, that's the
mean,
pickle there,
Seems
because
like just scientists want everything to be a particle.
no, they want everything to be a field. They really do. That's like a sick fetish of theirs. Everything is a field, and even things which are not fields are fields. They really love their fields. We like our fields. Yeah, they really do love their fields. But the thing is, graviton actually. Here's the thing: if graviton actually existed, then it would be great because we already have an interaction which behaves this way. That's light, electromagnetism. Like that's the point to which we want to bring gravity. So electromagnetism is, I would say, the interaction we know the best. And for electromagnetism, we basically have combined relativity and quantum mechanics, which is really impressive. Electromagnetism is as close to the theory of everything as we've ever gotten. The only pickle is that electromagnetism is basically the only interaction for which we achieve that kind of level. And so if with quantum field theory, we can describe particles annihilating and creating in the field, which is what we need in general relativity to unite the quantum mechanics. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. I do believe that electroweak interaction is the one that we have the best understanding of and the best theories for. Now, Remco, you just disagree with me because you like the graviton. Be real. What's this video about? Organic chemistry. It's gonna be a blast. Everyone's gonna love it.
Are there any other alternatives to gravity being a particle or a wave?
I think so, but none of them are mainstream. Well, gravity being a particle isn't mainstream already, but graviton is, after relativity, graviton is the next best theory. Or I guess string theory would be the next best theory.
Because we live in a simulation.
Yeah, but even if we live in a simulation, there's gotta be some kind of like equation for gravity. If we live in a simulation,
it's just like the devs just set gravity to -1 and then they just left it like that.
String theory is too hypothetical. Remco, you literally said graviton is the new Higgs. How can you say string theory is too hypothetical in the next sentence? What do you mean string theory is too hypothetical? You can't just defend a purely hypothetical particle called the graviton and then turn around and say string theory is too hypothetical. What is the bottleneck for detecting gravitons?
I like string theory.
I actually don't know much about string theory. I only know the bare basics.
I like string theory in concept. I mean, I'm kind of attached to it.
It is a creative way to do it.
I mean, string theory is the closest thing we have to the force in real life.
Yeah, I mean, it's very quantum mechanics. But yeah, don't need 11... Wait, gravitons need 5. Oh, I did mention that before. Yeah, you did. See, that means they're twice as bad as the string theory. Everyone knows that more dimensions you have, the better the physics.
Entanglement to lift objects from a distance.
I love how often in physics explanation of something... I really love how really often in physics explanation of something is just magic. Because that's what fields are, they're just magic. And really often when something is happening at a distance, the answer is always field. What is a field? Well, it's just a field. It's, it's the explanation to why things change at a distance. Don't worry about it. It's only not magic.
The two explanations a scientist has for something they can't explain are one, it's a field, and two, it's not my field.
That's a banger quote, I gotta say.
I gotta say, whenever I'm watching your videos, a lot of times I'm just shaking laughing. Like, your humor is the best.
Yeah, I'm glad I actually did some jokes in the most recent video. I should do that more often. I should actually be funny instead of just talking about science. Remco, listen.
Yeah, forget math and science. Become a comedian.
Exactly. Remco, listen. All you need to do to convince me is just detect a graviton. How hard could that be? Okay, it's simple. It's just one graviton. Detect just one graviton, and I'm convinced. That's all we need. It is funny though, because gravitons, like, here's the thing. When it comes to the realm of physics, gravitons aren't that insane. I would say they're pretty tame as a theory. In comparison to theories that are happening outside of physics, I would say in physics, gravitons are pretty tame. The only problem is they are so unbelievably undetectable. With decay, we had problem with neutrinos, because neutrinos wouldn't interact with strong interaction and electromagnetism, which are the two strongest interactions. Gravitons only interact with gravity, which is so comically weak. One more collider
How are we
or a
supposed to
dimension.
detect gravity without using a smaller particle, which we won't be able to detect?
Like, yeah, I mean,
Because a lot of microscopes just fire particles at stuff to get data back, you know?
yeah, because what else are you gonna do? I mean, to be fair, like, technically, that's also microscopes with photons. It is kind of funny how our eyes just happen to work using elementary particles. Considering how big our bodies are, we're not detecting stuff based on, like, air molecules or anything. We're using elementary particles, the smallest possible, to actually see. It's curious we evolved this way.
I want to be able to see radio wave.
With enough implants, anything is possible. I'm totally gonna rip out my eyes and replace them with just advanced cameras one day, because, duh.
I feel like it might be easier to just get some goggles or something.
I mean, maybe easier, but what's the fun in that? I
I
want
guess not as fun.
GoPros in my eyes. Gravitons don't exist if I haven't seen them. Exactly.
For all we know, you could already have them in your eyes.
I guess you're not wrong.
Unrelated question. What's your favorite barn animal?
Barn, my favorite. Oh, I mean, I don't mean to be a basic bitch, but cows do go hard. Cows are solid.
Kind of a chicken guy myself.
Oh, that's also a good one. Damn, chicken is also. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like cows have a bit of vibe, you know. Chickens seem another fun. Their aura is a bit off, in my opinion. They have the wrong kind of energy, wrong vibe to them. Cows are goated.
You, but I've already tried, and it's pretty hard to pick up a cow.
Is it? I don't know. I've never tried
You
that.
might have a different experience.
How could I don't know? You just like lift it with your hand. Oh, I've just picked up so many cows. I steal cows. That's how I make my money on the side. I just steal cows and I sell them on a black cow market, which is annoying because most cows actually are white and black. So I just have to pick the black ones if I want to sell them on the black cow market. But hey, anything to get some extra money, am I right?
You heard about that? Oh my gosh. Like imagine if big media got onto that you were stealing cows. Like they'd have a cow, you know?
So there's very small particles that carry the fundamental forces, not gravity though. There are two arguments there, however. Perif, you are correct that it is odd that gravity is the only, fundamental force with no carrier particle in our current model. It is weird, but at the same time, gravity is just in general a very weak, very weird fundamental force. The more you look at it, the more it feels like it doesn't belong. Because basically you have two fundamental forces at nuclear level. You have a strong force and electroweak. You only have two, and one of them is for color charge, the other one is for charge and, well, decay, I guess. But gravity is the only one that just is with mass. So there are two arguments. Either you have gravitons, because, why would you have a fundamental interaction with no carrier particle, quantized field, whatnot, so on and so forth, or gravity is just our description for how mass affects space-time. In which case, it would make sense that there are no carrier particles, because it could be just, the default space-time thing.
Even if the existence of the graviton is proved, then because it's undetectable, that gives rise for the possibility of lots of other undetectable forces.
It's technically not undetectable, it's just really, really difficult to detect. It's basically... We're basically trying to detect particles, which... So... The only time you see gravity is when you actually see gravity as an individual force, is at absolutely massive scales. Like, even human scales are massive scales. So if you consider the difference in mass between the human world and the world of, like, well, elementary particles, and then once you realize that you need your measurements to be as exact as the measurements at the elementary level, but at the same time as large as the human scale, then it's rather difficult. It's basically like trying to measure a planet using a ruler in centimeters or something. It's really tough. But I mean, we have done it with the gravitational waves, where we had, what was it, over 10-kilometer long laser, and we were measuring its difference in like 1/100th of a proton width.
Uses centimeters anyway.
Horses are kind of goated.
I just use fractions of a meter.
Oh, I use... well, I mean, I use inches, like an inch, which is average scale, I would say.
Like 0.1 meters or 0.01 meters. Like, you even need centimeters when you got that.
Ah, yes, the 0.0000000000000000000000001 meter sized molecule. And then the imperial system walks in with... And then the imperial system walks in with every single unit of measurement having its own unique constant. You missed 1-0. Ah, damn it.
My least favorite is 1 ton being 2,000 pounds. Just really pisses me off.
Is it really 2,000 pounds? Pounds in general suck, though.
1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So half a ton would be 1,000 pounds. It's just like the most infuriating thing ever.
I mean, imperial in general, it's so mad to me that there are people who unironically use imperial simply because there are countries that unironically use imperial. What could possibly be the benefit of imperial? Like, SI system sucks, in my opinion, because the constants are all over the place. I don't know why Avogadro's can't be 10 to the 24th power, because apparently that would be too convenient, so they just had to throw in 70 different digits. And Imperial just goes so many levels beyond.
Oh, 12 inches is called a foot, but like no one has a 12-inch foot.
Name is also just something truly. I use megaparsec for my atoms. Mega electron volts divided by speed of light squared is possibly the best unit you could ask for. If not for the volt. Volt kind of sucks there. But apart from that, mega electron volts divided by speed of light squared is the best unit I've ever heard. Because it fits so well. Like, that's exactly what you would want to measure particle energy, particle mass in. Simply because electron volts make sense to measure energy in electron volts, since electron is the literal electron. And then speed of light, a constant. It's really nice. 5 kilo satans.
Kind of in love with meters right now.
Meters are great.
I just love adding them up, measuring things. It's very fun.
That's... You know what? I'm glad you're having fun. I just imagine you walking around town just measuring absolutely randomly. Not even recording it, just, the measuring tape. Sometimes it's people, you just measure them.
And there are so many different things to measure in your own backyard,
That's true.
One of my favorite things to do is calculate the volume of random things around the house. It's just
that is
so
actually
much fun.
One of my first videos was about that.
Some things are actually really surprisingly hard to solve for. Like some shapes.
That's why I like integrals so much, because it's way easier to at least for me, it's way easier to describe a shape in terms of a function and then check the integral of a function rather than geometrically think. Well, I'm bad with geometry. I am absolutely awful with geometry. So actually that's what I recommend. So for example, if you have a shape like something annoying, like, I don't know, this kind of circular vase, like so, then the way you can, oh, hold on, it's a volume, so yeah, the way you can think of it is you can think of it as a function going this way, where the function will look like this, and then you take if this is the function, then you take the integral of a function from a to b dx, a, b, and then, oh, what was the equation I came up with? If you have a circle, volume of a cylinder is r, pi r squared. Pi r squared is basically like as the circle, then pi r squared times h, except in this case, my goodness, why am I thinking so slowly? Area is I r, then area. There we go. So pi as the area, and then the average is divided by this, which means area pi area squared. This squared divided by the height of the object. And with this, you can get any cylindrical object with like weird shapes like this. And then all you have to do is describe this function, get the integral, and you can get the volume of it. It's something it's one of the oldest videos on the channel was precisely about this, except I did it for a boat fender. Also, Remco, calling them God units, that's risky. The Higgs boson was called a God particle, and apparently Higgs really hated that name because he was an atheist. So he really didn't like that name. Can you imagine being an atheist, spending your whole life discovering a particle only for people to call it the God particle. Must have been pretty upset.
You can see how much gravity this stream has. Very, very sad stream.
Well, yeah, but all this, the gravity of the stream is mostly due to me because I'm so attractive. But that's a separate thing.
You're attracted to yourself because you're made up of elementary particles.
What if the object is asymmetrical? Then you just
rickrolls the more people.
Yeah, it's a duty. I understand. Kaz, what if the object is asymmetrical? Then you just give up. That's what you. Then you just give up. You give up and you go play video games instead. Simple.
I like your method of just filling up the object with shapes that you can easily, calculate the volume of.
I mean, in my case,
then
it's
just cutting off the edges.
Oh no, in my case, it's not even that. I just a single function. I just try to describe everything as a function. I just like functions this much. Why do you divide by h? That's because the hold on. That's because the average height. Basically, a height time. Height on this function. So height times the length of the function is average height times the length of the function would be equal to the area. So this is just the rectangle, except in this case we have the average height, which means that area divided by h is equal to r. And so in this case what we want is we want pi r squared h. R squared h is a, so pi r a, and then you just get pi, you take this equation and you do a squared divided by h. This way. You need to get the average height, and in order to get the average height of function, you can just get the integral divided by length. That will give you the average.
How long did it take you to learn math? Like basic math, like through high school and all that.
I don't know if it's my Discord, but you keep... I don't know if you're just really quiet on Discord or if I am... Because you're on... I've already put you to 200 and I'm still having trouble hearing you.
I can put my mouth.
Oh, you said that right as I increase the volume on my headphones too. That hurt. Whoops. I still don't understand how integrals work. Did you see my How Math Becomes Difficult video? Because if you don't understand then I'm sorry, I did a bad job apparently. Anyway, I feel like that would be it for today's live stream. I'm feeling really spent today. I do have to finish the video in 5. I can finish the video in 5 days. It's fine. How hard could it possibly be? So I'm gonna go rest up a bit. I'll probably eat something too. I am starving myself for no good reason. And I guess that'll be it. Thank you, Boo, for joining for the first time. Thanks for rickrolling me on stream. It was fun. And for now, I guess that will be it. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.